What's up YouTube, Webbers5 here, coming at today with my third place deck profile on my Endymion DPE. So for those wondering, why did I choose to add DPE into the build? Well, frankly guys, we've just kind of reached that point where if you're not using that, where you're not using the DPE engine, you're not playing Eldritch, you're not using the Brave engine, you kind of don't really win. And I've kind of reached that point, guys. I've been having a lot of matches at my locals. I'm having fun, but I haven't been doing that great, and sometimes you just want to win every now and then. So I thought, why not? I'd go for it and play the DPE package, and I've been really enjoying it with it so far. Now, before I get into the profile, guys, I just want to quick apologies of no deck profile update for this deck for a while. I think the last time I did an update was November, but guys, the main reason I haven't been doing one is because I haven't been performing that well, and frankly I haven't been making too many dramatic changes to the build. But with my recent third place performance, and I have now made some substantial changes between the last build, thought this was a good time to give the update. Also guys, another reason I haven't been updating recently is for those who have not checked out my community page. I got a book published this year, so I've spent a good couple months working around this, which is kind of why I haven't been doing too much content. If anyone's interested in a copy of the book, the links are on my community page. I will double check that as well, make sure that they're up to date. But if anyone's interested, it's there to be checked out. But without further ado, we're here for a deck profile, so let's get into it. Okay guys, so starting the profile off, we've got the Endymion package, which hasn't really changed, so we're still playing 3 Mighty Master, 1 Reflection, 1 Servant. Konami, please bring this back to 3. 1 Magister, and 3 Mastery. Don't really feel the need to play more, don't really feel the need to play less, so kind of keeps it as it is for the moment. Next, the other Pendulums in the package. 3 Magical Abductor. I decided to bring this back in when I decided to cut the proper Mythical Beast related engine and only keep the important stuff. So this just helps me turbo into the Jackal. Speaking of which, 2 Jackal as well. Just for the monster negate, either wants to be searched off the Abductor or summoned off the Servant. And that's frankly all we really need right now. And Jackal will be fine on its own for accumulating spell counters. Next, moving into the Spellbook package, this has not changed in the slightest. 1 Magician of Prophecy, 2 Spellbook of Secrets, and 1 Spellbook of Knowledge. Don't need a feature play more or less. I know some people play this as like 1, 2, and 2, or double up on the engine. That's an option. I suppose I could think about it, because I have been trying to think of options of replacing Desire since it got cut to 1. Because currently I'm not playing it at all because I didn't see the point of playing it at 1. But yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what to use to replace it. If anyone's got any suggestions, let me know. But yeah, I'm happy with this as a 4-card engine. Next, playing 1 Illusion of Chaos and 3 Magician's Souls. So Magician's Souls to accumulate an additional spellcast and negate, and then Illusion of Chaos, which can search into the souls, which is really great. I was testing this at 2, but then I found I was seeing this engine just way too much. I was just seeing too much of it at that point. When I did a tournament test playing 2 Illusion of Chaos, I found myself citing 1 of them out every single game. Because yes, the Illusion of Chaos means I now see my Magician's Souls a lot more, but I was just seeing him. But playing this at 2, I was seeing it too much, which is very rare for me, but that's how it was. So yeah. Then the other parts of extenders that I'm playing are 1 Jesticon Fee, just a quick easy special summon of a spellcaster that's also searchable of Magical Abductor's monster effect, which is insane. Then 3 Magician's Restage, bringing back a level 3 or lower spellcaster as an extender, then searching for a Magician's Hand if he gets sent to the grave. This card combo is so great with Magician's Souls. Then 1 Magician's Right, one Magician's Right Hand, which is the spell negate, negates super poly, negates stock rule no more, which is great. And also this was something I was testing for my latest tournament. One Magician's Left Hand. Based on the past few tournaments I've had, I've come up with a lot of Eldritch matchups, so I decided to test playing main decking the left hand as well, just to help deal with that. Also really good to protect yourself from an imperm, provided you remember to activate it before you've summoned your spellcaster that's going to need its effect. That was my issue, guys. I kind of forgot to do this beforehand because my mindset was just focused on wait until I've got something that's going to get spell counters out of it. But no, I should have just done it straight up. So I might cut it, might keep it. I'm not entirely sure right now. And next, the DPE package. So I'm playing one Celestial, one Dasher, and the 2 Fusion Destiny. Pretty standard, but honestly, guys, I'm quite happy with it because I'm finding Celestial really useful. Celestial's really useful for the draw effect. Dasher's special summon useful. Again, provided I remember that Dash is in my graveyard when I draw a monster. But frankly, the Celestial on its own is good enough. And frankly, guys, in my last tournament, I didn't even need the Anaconda to do this because I was actually drawing into the Fusion Destiny quite well, which was really useful. Next, my field spell package, playing one Terraforming. Guys, you gotta play an ulti because then you see it like 90% of the time. I've actually tested this. I was playing Secret Terraforming. I saw it like 6, 7 out of 10 test hands. I tested with an ulti Terraforming. I saw it 9 out of 10. So yeah, playing higher rarity works. And the field spells I'm playing, one Citadel and one Secret Village. So I was checking a lot of deck profiles on Endymion recently to see what people have been doing. I've seen that some builds are actually starting to main deck this more, and I can see why it's so good, this format at the moment. This card was absolutely so clutch for me during my tournament. I dropped this against a Floowandereeze player at my locals, and he essentially decided to struggle through for a couple of turns, and then he basically scooped. It was just that good, guys. So, yeah. Next, my tech choice that I was playing for the tournament. 2 copies of Secret Sanctuary of the Spellcaster. So guys, this one, like Secret Village, needs a spellcaster on the field in order to work. And if I don't have a spellcaster, this card gets destroyed as opposed to locking me out of the effect. So, and for those who don't know, guys, what Secret Sanctuary does is if you control a spellcaster and a face-up spell card, and your opponent doesn't control a spellcaster, if your opponent normal special summons a monster except a spellcaster, that monster can't attack or activate its effects for the turn. Which is why I decided I wanted to give it a go, but frankly, I didn't draw into it, and the one time I did, it didn't really do too much. Essentially, my opponent kaiju'd my spellcaster, and then it got automatically sent to the grave, which wasn't great. So I'm probably going to cut this out. Like I said, guys, I'm still trying to figure out draw power as well, so for my flexible spots in my deck, it's essentially the 2 Secret Village, 2 Secret Sanctuary, and the Magician's Left Hand. The one that does traps, I'm pretty sure it's left hand. So yeah, I've got those 3 flexible spots which I need to figure out of what I want to do with. I'm, like I said, thinking about draw power, but I'm not sure what. So, yeah. And then last bits in the main deck, the 3 other one-off cards of my limiteds. So 1 Call by the Grave, 1 Instant Fusion, and the 1 Upstart Goblin. Free spell counter. Go into the Millennium Eyes to prevent hand traps, And Coldbite, guys, we're kind of just in the position that there's so much graveyard-specific strategies. I would just like a better chance of having something to disrupt my opponent with the Call by the Grave. This was also really clutch in one of my matches against a player that was playing a DPE package. He did DPE against me with Scythe, and I was basically like, okay, if I get Scythe blocked, I'm going to lose this game. So when the Scythe activates Engrave to summon itself, I just go, Caught by the Scythe, and then boom, I was set to go. It did kind of cut me out of having an additional spell counter that turn though, but I found a way to make it through. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Moving into the extra deck. Again, haven't really changed a dramatic amount of a majority of this, just changed one or two flexible spots. So primary stuff that I'm using, one Artemis, really easy to link climb if I've got Magician's Restage. Crowley, really good for setting up with the spellbooks as well. Occasionally I've been finding I've been using him for his effect to normal summon a high level spellcaster without tributing for times when I get input, for when Crowley gets impermed and then I can't extend off of that. And then 3 copies of Selene, Queen of the Master Magicians. Yeah, she's still amazing. I typically only find myself using. I typically only need to summon one, but I like having spares just in case I'll need to extend later. Next, kind of the staples for playing 1 IP. Doesn't come up too frequently, but sometimes it's useful. Appaloosa, still just a great generic negate. Axis Code Talker, OTK, Underworld Goddess, great kaiju disruption, which is always fun. Also negating graveyard summons, which is awesome. And then 1 Nightmare Unicorn, typically to be summoned off the Masquerader, which is really good. Next in my extra deck, playing 1 the Dark Charmer Gloomy. So this recently came out in Battles of Chaos. Took Konami long enough to give us a dark target from the Charmers, but naturally I can understand their decision of making the dark one last once we saw what all the other Charmers do in terms that you summon one, you can summon a monster from your opponent's graveyard with the same attribute as the Charmer. Naturally, since Dark's the most prominent attribute, it was obvious they were going to do this last, but now we finally got it, so this is really great. And since it's a link to Spellcaster, it's another way to turbo into a Selene or any other Link 3 that I feel like. And speaking of Link 3s, another Link 3 I decided to try out was Topologic Trisbaena. So in my last two tournaments ago, so not the one I just played, but the one before that, my friend Max dropped a Topologic Trisbaena on me using his with his Tri Brigade. So I'm thinking I'm against it. I'm like, oh god, Trisbaena. Yeah, he's playing smart for me. But Trisbaena, I suppose, is pretty good for the format, at the moment, considering, like, for me personally, at my locals, I'm seeing a rise in Eldritch players, which is kind of why I wanted to stick with playing I wanted to try out with Trisbaena to just take out the Eldritch back row in one go, which is great. Additionally, guys, during my tournament against my friend Max, of what made me want to play the Trisbaena, it's just another great way to forcing the effect out, which is really good. So he had Trisbaena against me, a couple back row. I didn't want to go into my board yet because I'm like, I know his face down card is I know his set card's a Revolt. So if I attempt to set up, he's just going to Revolt, banish my back row off his Trisbaena. So what I did, I opened Magician's Souls, so I forced his effect out. I went Magician's Souls to the zone his Trisbaena pointed to on my field. The mandatory effect activated, banished his back row, so I didn't burn. And then, because a monster effect activated during my main phase, I was able to just go activate Triple Tactics Talents, and then I stole his Trisbaena, and then linked off with it, which was insanely funny. Next, semi going into the fusions, but kind of in the legs, you know what's coming next, guys. One Vertex Anaconda for the purposes of the Fusion Destiny to summon Destiny Hero Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer. Interestingly, in my last tournament, I never summoned this once, because every single time I did Destroyer Phoenix, I opened the Fusion Destiny, which was insane. So I don't know if I want to keep the Anaconda in my deck, considering how well I seem to be able to draw into the Destiny Fusion, but I'll still probably keep it for that purpose, as long as Anaconda remains legal, which I'm not convinced it will, but who knows. And then last but my extra deck, as I previously mentioned, my instant fusion target, one Millennium Eyes Restrict for stopping hand traps and generic disruption. Okay, and finally, guys, moving into my side deck of what I played. So I played one Pancratops, one Feather Duster, one Red Reboots, basically the limited trio, the best limited trio for your side decks, all generically good stuff. Then personal choices, I was playing 3 Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbits. I found Ogre's absolutely huge this format, so I figured I might as well play her. My choice of board disruption, I went for triple Lava Golem, just for the reason it clears up 2 monsters, and even in a desperate situation of summon this, pass into the 1k burn, which was one fun thing I did in my last tournament against a what was he playing? Oh yeah, it was Generators. So I dropped my opponent to like 1100 points. I dropped my opponent to 1100 points in game 2, so I'm just like, that Generator is really annoying me. Drew into the Lava Golem, I'm like, cool, I'm going to tribute 2 of your monsters, Lava Golem. Special summon a monster, attacked into his monster, which dropped into just under. I was going to summon a monster, attempt to attack into his monster, which would drop him below a K, and then just let the Lava Golem finish him up, but we went into time. But since I was ahead in life points anyway, it didn't make a difference, but at least I had that option. Next, 3 Triple Tactics talents. I'm finding with the amount of DPE players at my locals, I kind of just need to be able to, because if my opponent doesn't shotgun the DP in the standby phase to do a scythe lock on me, then they're probably just gonna. I mean, some players are starting to do that, of doing their effects in the standby phase so that they can't be hit with Triple Tactics talents. But some players are still playing it like the smart way of trying to make your opponent waste their resources, wait for the absolute perfect moment to do the play. So I decided to keep it in for that reason. Then my back row removal of choice, 3 Cosmic Cyclone. This is just primarily because of Eldritch, so I'd rather just take the card straight out, and then Eldritch can't search off of it later. And that's it currently for my side deck, guys. But one thing I've been thinking about recently, considering I'm seeing a bit more of like Floowandereeze, a couple of random Monarch players as well. So part of me is actually thinking of taking this card, which is 1 copy of Fog King, just as a way of anti-tributing. Additionally, Fog King's a spellcaster, so it's got synergy with Magician's Souls, which is really good. It's just something I've been thinking about. Might see if I can find a way to slot him in, but right now, I'm not sure. Okay guys, so that was the profile. Hope you all enjoyed it. Leave a comment down below what you thought about it. Be sure to like the video as always. Additionally, if anyone's got any suggestions of what I can do in those 3 flexible spots that I mentioned earlier, or any draw power that they could recommend, naturally leave that down in the comments below and I'll take a look and think about it. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you next time.